Welcome to the video where I show you how to change a wheel cylinder on a 1990 Ford Bronco, and this is my project vehicle. So one of the first symptoms you're going to see if your wheel cylinder is starting to go bad is that you'll start seeing wet areas under your axle, or you may actually see some dust buildup. So the first thing you need to do when you're getting ready to change your wheel cylinder is you need to remove all of your brake hardware. And that was a quick video on removing the brake hardware. Here you can see a lot of dust buildup on this wheel cylinder, and I decided to change it. It really wasn't leaking, but I decided to change it anyways. So basically your wheel cylinder is a hydraulic unit that pushes your brake shoes apart and causes your brakes to have enough friction to stop your vehicle. Loosening up the brake line on the back. Now this can be a problem. A lot of times these are rusted pretty tight, so you'll need to use some WD-40 or some other fluid to get that to break loose. So you're really only loosening your brake line. You're not actually taking your brake line off at this point. You're just breaking it loose, and then you can snug it back up. Then you'll use a 1/2-inch socket to remove the 2 screws on the backside, allow you to remove your wheel cylinder. Here you can see I'm actually removing the brake line, and I only do that after I've removed those bolts because you don't want a lot of brake fluid to drain out. Obviously, you'll need some sort of catch pan underneath it to catch the brake fluid that's coming out. And as soon as you can get the wheel cylinder off, you'll want to put the new wheel cylinder right back into the plate on the brakes. That way you can get that brake put right on immediately, so you lose a lot less fluid. And you don't have a chance of getting much air into your brake line. After you've tightened that up, you'll want to make sure that the wheel cylinder is seated by pushing it in from the front side, and then you'll want to start your 2 bolts and put your bolts back in. Make sure you snug those bolts up pretty tight. So after you've tightened those bolts up, what I like to do is spray everything off with brake cleaner, because if you don't, it's very hard to tell if you have actually got a wheel cylinder leak. So you want to get rid of all of that extra brake fluid. So if you do happen to see a wet spot, you know that it could be a wheel cylinder or brake line. So there are 2 plungers that are sticking out of the wheel cylinder, and after you've taken the original wheel cylinder off, you'll want to pull those 2 plungers off, because those do not come with the new wheel cylinder, and all they do is just pop into the rubber caps. There's nothing really holding them in except for a little bit of tension on that rubber, so you'll want to do that. Now here you can see I'm reassembling all of the brakes, and I do have a video that shows you how to do this reassembly of all the brakes. Once you've reassembled all the brake components and put them in the right location, you are complete with this job. So I'd like to thank you very much for joining me on this video on how to change wheel cylinders